Okay, good evening everybody. So let us start our lecture. First of all, this week we want to review object-oriented programming. Okay, and maybe before we start our lecture, so this module, lecture object-oriented programming, and before I start, maybe I should give you a reminder for our test. So according to our schedule, your test will be next Thursday, right? Not this Thursday, next Thursday, and that will be 30th, January 30th, right? Okay, and the cover material, whatever I discuss until up to today's lecture and next lecture this week. Okay, will be covered for this week. I think we will discuss this. And okay, inheritance will not be included, and as you know that if you take test 1, 2 and test 3 all test, then your final exam will compensate the minimum one okay. But if you miss test 1, that's fine, only one test if you miss, fine. But if you miss 2 tests, any 2 tests, then one will be covered by your final, but another will be 0. You understand, right? So do not miss any test, please. So let us discuss class and object tonight, and then first of all let us try this one. Everybody please try it individually. You can get help from Google, but not from any other friend or next person next to you. Okay, make this room quiet, and then I will be back in 15 minutes. And okay, thank you so much. And what is your name?
I'm Grayson.
Grayson, and what is your name?
Aaron.
Eric?
No, Aaron.
Aaron. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now what is your name?
James.
Okay, James will help me to do this on a computer. Maybe, well, do you like Eclipse?
Use Eclipse, yes.
Okay, that's good. So we can do it on Eclipse. Eclipse has some built-in features that we can easily close wall. Class. Maybe let me do package. So within this part package, okay. So you will first create a class. Okay, everybody please give attention. Okay, so James will help me to do this. So we are define first a car class, right?
Yeah.
So in Eclipse there are some advanced features. So for instance, here my car class, just I will write the name of my car class, and then if I select public static void main, then finish, then it will get my, okay, this is car class. Okay, one thing, remember everybody please. Okay, so Eclipse has a different features that, so whatever the car your class, whatever your main method is there, so this class is containing my main method, right? So
Yep.
that must be a public class. In Eclipse, one file contains only one public class, and the file is saved by its public class name. So since this is my main method, so instead of giving me car class over here, I want to rename it. Okay, how do I rename it? Just to right click, then refactor, rename. I want to say car main. Okay, this is my car main class. So as soon as I click continue, that you will see that here my name will be changed over here. I like you to make another class car according to our features. Okay, so sometime you will switch from here, you know, the tab command and then tab. Okay,
Okay, so you want me to make that car class
yes,
right there?
yes, according to our feature, or you can see our board over there, whatever you like.
Okay, based on what was written
Based on
in
here.
that board. Okay.
Yes. So the car class will continue 3 attributes: the make, model, and a year, right? Okay.
All right. I'll try. So we'll start. I'll start with having the.
Please take it. Take it.
Does
Take
it,
it.
does it say make?
Okay, take it. Yeah, make.
Make.
Yeah, put it here.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. Hello. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to start.
Speak loudly.
I'm going to start by making the the variables for the car class. So private string. Is it really called make? Okay, then make. Private string make. All right.
Never mind. Thank you so much. I will do. I have to do quickly.
I'm sorry.
Let me do it.
Okay. Model.
Int.
Yeah, year.
Yeah.
All right, you start with that.
Okay. Yes. Let us do pair programming. Stay here. Okay. Let us do it quickly. Yeah. Everybody, please give attention. Okay. So.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I don't teach.
It's okay. Now, everybody, please give attention. Instead of, okay, one thing. What do you like me to do? Do you like me to go these slides one by one, or to tell this whatever I know that slides have with the program? What do you like? I think instead of going this slide one by one, okay, if I go through this program, then I will cover everything. Okay, so everybody please give attention.
Oh, yeah, so right now we need a constructor.
Yeah, let us go on by one. So first of all, we need a class name car, right? Okay, so by convention, naming convention is that all class names should be started with uppercase number. So C should be in uppercase. If you say in lowercase, that it will work, but we should not say in lowercase c. Okay, and then convention is that in Java all variables starts with a lowercase letter. So make, model, we should put in M lowercase and ER. Okay, so these are the variable we got. See that in Eclipse we have a convention that our file, these entire programs will be saved as a name of the public class. So in Eclipse, only one class can have public property attribute. Okay, so these are the class attribute: public, private, protected. So, and then there are 4 attributes. One is default. If you do not put anything, that is called default. Okay, this is class level attributes, and these are called variable level attribute, class modifier, public, private, protected. So this one is public. Only one class will be public. So this is default. Okay, that's good. So now according to our so our requirements is here, right? So a car should contain 3 attributes: a make, a model, and a year. And the constructor that takes 3 arguments and copies them to the attributes. Okay, so here we need a constructor. So what is a constructor? A constructor is a method. What is a method? A method is a function that is defined within a class. The constructor has some special features. For instance, the constructor name is exactly same name of its class name, exactly same. It's case sensitive. Okay, and for most of the cases, 99.9% cases, constructors become public. There is some special situation that a constructor needs to be private. When you take advanced level software engineering course, maybe you will learn singleton design pattern, then you will see that constructor can be a private. Okay, here this is my car. So constructor is a method, right? How do we define a method? Okay, with parenthesis and then this body, right? Okay, so according to our features, we need a constructor that makes 3 arguments and copies them to the attributes. What are my attributes here? Make, model, and year, right? So I need 3 attributes, one for string make,
Model and year.
another
String models and in year.
string model, and another int year. Okay, so here I have make and model both string, but I cannot keep like this way. I cannot have a common type declaration. Okay, all types must be individual. Okay, now I want to connect. So it says and copies them to the attributes. Then I need to link this make, model, these are the called arguments with this field, right?
Yeah.
How can I do that?
You use this.
Okay, 2 things. Okay, yeah, can you please stop side talking? Okay, there are 2 ways. Let me do this. I say, if I say make equal to this make, then there is no error message, but there is an warning. Warning, so you see that right, the yellow bar. If I say model equal to model, so compiler will not be able to understand which make is this one. So I have field name here and I have this make. This is an attribute name. So I want to link this one with this one. So this is why I need to put this operator. If I say this dot make equal to make, okay, and then if I say this dot model equal to model, that's good. Okay, so if I give, remember this, the rule is that if you have exactly same name of argument, exactly of its attribute name exactly same, then we need to use this operator. But if they are different, for instance, if you say model, M is in uppercase, then you say this model, then we do not need to use this operator, then this operator is optional. Okay, and this dot year equal to year. Okay, so here the difference between this model and this model is that this is all in lowercase, then it has, okay, so but if so the rule is that if we have attribute name is different than, sorry, if we have argument name is different than the attribute name, then we do not need this.
Yeah.
But if you have exactly same name, then we need to use this operator. Okay, everybody understand?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I got a constructor, right? So now we need number 3, setters means mutator and getters. Okay, in C# it is called properties for one of these attributes. This is called good. I said one of these attributes that I don't need for wall, but at least for wall. Let us do for wall. So I need to set up getter and setter outside this method. How can I do getter and setter methods? So in Eclipse, if you use Eclipse, then do a right click. Actually, bring it here. Do a right click and then go to source, and then source. You see all the way generate getter and setters. Click over here, and what are the attributes you want to make getter and setter? For instance, make. If I do for wall, make model and year, then it will generate. These are my getters and setter methods. Is the getter and setter methods. Wherever my cursor was, it comes all methods together. Okay. So let us understand getter and setter method. If I understand one pair, then we will understand everything. Setter method sets something. Sets the value. Okay. So, okay, although getter methods came fast because it came alphabetic order, but I want to describe setter method first. Setter method, it takes an argument of exactly same type of the attribute you are making for. So it's a make is string type, right? And it will also, it says this dot make equal to make. So again, if you give a different m is in uppercase, then you do not need to use this, and this is optional. It will work. Okay. And setter method and getter method used to get the value or return the value. Okay. The rule is that the getter method, you start with get, so you say getter method. Getter method returns a value. Okay, setter method sets a value. Okay, for the first time it was confusing for me and many students. They confused the which one returns, which one does not returns. Set method sets. So it should be, the name is well explanatory. You should be able to remember. Otherwise, if you do not remember this way, then I remember this way. Getter method, getter. I remember this way. Getter method, get, get, right? So I said then getter. So if I type reverse order, ret, okay, getter ret, returns. Okay, getter method returns. You can remember that way. So getter method returns. Okay, so although getter methods came over here, but we will, when we call these methods, we will use the setter method first in order to set value for what? We will use this setter method to set value for what? For make, yes. Okay. And similarly, this setter method is for model, and this setter method is for year. Now look at this difference between this setter and this setter. Okay, this getter method get model and get year. So since year was integer type, right? So it is returning an integer type. Since our model was string type, so it is returning a string type.
You still need my help?
You can leave.
Okay.
Thank you. So we have this. I can move this here maybe. Now everybody understands how to declare, how to start a class and with attributes, and how to declare getters and setters. Everybody understands? Yes. Okay, I can put in a replit. Okay. But I like everybody to practice yourself, okay? So, in your test, I do not encourage to write pseudocode, especially for declaring a class. It takes a lot of codes. Like for instance, for every method, you have to start with start, end, begin, end, right? But we do not need to do anything over here. It's easy. Okay, so getter and setter method, and what else? The third one. Okay, we got constructor and getter and setter method. Okay, now we want to do override the toString method. Okay, so far everybody is good. You understand? Everybody? Okay. So let us understand first what is the toString method. So we want to override the toString method to display the car's attributes on screen, right? What do we want? Sorry, we want to copy this. Okay. We want to override the toString method. What is our goal? To display the car's attribute on screen, right? So let us understand what is the toString method. Before that, let me create an object of this class. So how do we create an object of a class? We use the type. For instance, how do we create a variable? We know that we create a variable integer x equal to 5, right? We can say integer x, right? And then we can say x equal to maybe 5 or 10, right? So then if we say sys out okay, so not error. Okay, sys.out.println. If we print x, then it will be nice, then it will print x 5, right? So this is a declaration of a variable, normal variable, okay, so or built-in variable, or you can say these two lines we can write together as like int x equal to 5. So then how do we declare an object? Okay, in order to declare a variable, we need first type, right? Our type is integer type, right? We want to create an object. What is my type over here? What type of object we want to create? Car. So that type will come over here, car. We need a variable name x. This is a variable name. In similarly, I need a variable name. Maybe C1, car 1. Then we equal to sign. This is equal to, and instead of here, directly we need in most programming languages, we need to use new operator. Okay, and then we need to instantiate or call the constructor. This is my constructor. Okay, this is my constructor. We need to call this constructor, but it's showing that it is giving me an error, right? The reason is that it's giving me an error by default, since I have, this is called an overloading constructor. Once if a constructor contains some arguments within its parentheses, then that is called overloaded constructor. But if I have an overloaded constructor, I should have a default constructor. So what is a default constructor? This is a default constructor. Okay, a constructor that does not have any argument within. That is called a default constructor. Okay, so this constructor is default constructor and it is empty. It does not do anything. But since it does not do anything, but still you see that my error is gone, right? Because it has some effect that even if I do not have any code over here, but still it is helpful for me to, if I do not have this, then it is showing me an error, right? So in order to resolve this issue, I must have a default constructor even it is empty. Okay. So now I am able to create a car object, right? Now what happens if I print the car object? I want to print the car object, right? Can anyone please tell me what will be my output? So for x, I got 5, right? Okay, for car, what will be my output? What is that? Car underscore package dot car at the rate something, right? What is this? Yes. So it is showing me a memory location. This is my memory location. This is my memory address, right? Every variable takes an address, takes place on memory, and this, like an object also does that. And this is my location that where this object is created and taking place. But it is not meaningful for us, right? Do you understand something more that is from this? No. It is not meaningful. So in order to make this display meaningful, we need to override, that means rewrite the toString method. In Java we call toString. Okay, and in C# we said toString T is in uppercase. So now we understand why do we need toString method? To resolve this issue, right? So where do we override the toString method? Within my car class. So this is the beginning of my car class, this is the end of my car class. Before it is ending, we need to override the toString method. How do we override the toString method? There is a way. If you do right click and then source, and if you say generate source and generate toString method, it's nice, our life is easy. It will generate a toString method with these attributes. Okay, if I click on generate, I have my toString method generated automatically. Life is easy, right? So you see that it's generated automatically. Now if I run this program again, okay, having this toString method overridden, then you see that my car, okay, make equal to null, model equal to null, year equal to 0. But it is showing something. Previously it was showing something different, right? Previously it was showing a memory address. That was not meaningful, but this time it is meaningful, right? But there is some problem. There are some problems over here. For instance, I have null value, make null, model null, and ER equal to 0. Okay, in order to solve this problem, what do we need to do? Remember that what we do it, we just created a car, empty car. It is not a complete car yet. We have not assigned is, make, is model, and ER yet. We have to do that. If we do that, then this issue will be gone. So do you have any question? Okay. So now how can we do that? There are multiple ways to assign values to these attributes: make, model. Okay. First of all, so let us consider that these are not private. Let us consider this is public. If these are public, make, for instance, the make, if this make is public, okay, or nothing, default, and this one is private. So I have public, this is default, and this is private. Default is not a keyword, so if you do not give any class access modifier, then it is default. How many minutes I do have? Okay, that's good. So if I have this attribute as public, then I can do, you see that as soon as I say C1 dot, then it is showing me my make, right? Okay, what do you understand from this one, this line? You see that make, it is showing me make colon string, that is make is an attribute that is a string type, and that is dash car, it's not minus sign, that is defined in the car class. Okay, so then if I say C1 dot make equal to, say, what is a make? Toyota. Okay, so then if I run this program again, it will show me at least my make has set up as Toyota, right? Okay, and my model is not set it up yet, and then here same problem, right? Then what is my model type? Model is default type, right? If it is default, then still I can do same way. C1 dot is a model is coming up equal to C, what is that called? Okay, Corolla, CORO. Okay, my model is set up, even it is default, then it is coming up, right? And the public, then it is coming up. Then my model got Corolla, right? Okay, and I have one more remaining, right? What is that? C1 dot ER, right? Can I see my ER here? No. What is the reason? Yes, so let us see back my ER is private, right? Okay, so here is the story. Since my ER is private, so I cannot say ER equal to 2020. I cannot say this. Even by force, if I want to say it, it will give me an error, right? How to resolve this error? There are multiple ways. That, for instance, if I delete this private, then it will be happy, then it will allow me to do this, right? Okay, this is a naive way. Okay, I can do it, but okay, please give attention and do not do side talk for the next 10 minutes. Okay, so this is, although we see that if our attribute is either public or default, then we can assign or access those attributes directly from another class directly, right? Here I am accessing this class, car class, from where? From my main class, right? It is a different class, right? But this my make, model and year are defined within a car class, right? But I am accessing this from my another class that may be car main class or anywhere. So directly, since those attributes are kept as public, if it is public, that anybody can see this, can change this, right? So some information, we have some information public, right? Anybody can see this, but there are other ways that we want to make some information private, so that only authorized people can see that, right? So in order to make restricted, so that the other people, unauthorized people or unauthorized methods, who is my method over here? Main method, okay, cannot, or any other method cannot access it or see it. You see that when I say C1 dot, I did not see, my main method is not able to see here, right? You see that others class, we will discuss this when we discuss inheritance. You will understand this, all of this. So the way is that in order to make authorize to access here, we need to create getter and setter method of here, setter method at least. Okay, so do we have setter method for here? Yes, we do have set here, right? So then it is, its type is public, right? So now if I say C1 dot set here, you see that? So for C1, since it is private and I have to create a setter method in order to access it. And when I select set year, it is showing int year, right? So it says I have to put an integer type. It says return type is void, and it is defined in car class. So I have to put set year, and within this parenthesis I have to give a year value. For instance, 2020, and then since this value, this is not permissible. Now if I run this, then I got my year set up, right? So having getters and setter methods are the way to authorize some private information by the user itself, by the owner. For instance, everybody, when you came here for the first time, or maybe first, second, third time, when you came here for admission, right? We have your social security number, right? You have your social security card, right? Okay, so how do we use our social security number? We keep it as private, right? Everybody has a social security number, but do we really keep it completely 100% private? No, sometimes we have to give our social security number to someone, right? How do we give? We give our social security number, or that means we share our social security number only with trusted people, right? Only with a trusted person, or only with an authorized person. When you came to get admission over here, you gave your social security card to maybe to the admission officer, right? You knew that he or she was a trusted person, right? So she made a copy, maybe she saw your social security card, right? And she used it, right? So using our social security card, but you do not keep it private, yeah, public, right? You do not post your social security number on social media. So this is the way by setter is authorizing in a private way, in a restricted manner. Okay. And for instance, even if I want to say, for instance, now if I want to say C1 dot get year, then what I will get only for this one? Get year 2020, right? Okay, even if I print this one, maybe I don't need X over here at this point. I got 2020, right? So now we understand how do we use getter and setter method. Okay, so this program is written in Java, right? It's easy that we can convert it to C#. Okay, but C# has some advanced feature, like it has a shortcut way to write getter and setter method. Maybe in our next lecture we will discuss that. Okay, now let us see so everything is done. Okay, if you do not understand this, please review my recorded lecture for 1321 course. Okay, we discussed this in detail. Okay, another thing that one more thing that okay, I passed study guide. Did you see study guide on the D2L? You saw that on D2L? You did not open your D2L, right? Okay, so and also that I asked you to watch a video. I asked you to watch a lecture video for this one, for this one, collections, object collections, array list and generics. So this you may need this if you do when you do your labor. Okay, so since I'm going to do some activities and it takes time for me, so I like you to everybody please watch this lecture video at least one time. Okay, if you do not understand, then I will cover this in lecture. Otherwise I will not cover this. Okay, but if you like, I can cover this but for the next lecture, what I want to do in the next lecture, I want to do more on object oriented properties, especially the static modifier. That is an important topic and you will get some questions from your next lecture. Please do not miss your next lecture. Okay, thank you so much everybody, and please drive safe. Okay.